Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. So in today's video we're going to be talking about wheelchair setup, servicing and maintenance of your wheelchair. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go talk about the setup. So when you're choosing a wheelchair, one of the most important things is not only its capabilities but it's also the comfort and the seating position of the chair. So we've not actually done a video on this before, although this is something we touch on in every single demo when someone comes in to see us or we talk about it over the phone. For all those that don't get the luxury of coming in, I'm going to run through it on this smart chair here very clearly, so you can see the different ways of setting up a chair and the sort of person that maybe would suit these different types of chair setups. So what we're going to do is we're going to first off remove the main cushion. Okay, so under here we've got the second L-shaped layer of fabric. We're going to remove this as well. Okay, so couple of hypothetical kind of scenarios. Let's say you're someone that carries a little bit more weight. So in general, people that hold more weight like to sit further back in the chair. How you do this is you've got this bit of fabric, and this can be positioned anywhere from here all the way back to here. What that does, the further back you position this bit of fabric, the further back your seating position goes. So what we've done is we've brought our bum from here all the way back now to here. Another thing that people that carry a little bit more weight tend to prefer, or certain people with certain disabilities, is they like to have this upper back grip vest much more concave. So we can do this by adjusting these straps. So what I'm going to do is, do you see how it's changing the shape of the back? So it means you can sit further back in the chair. We'll remove this one as well now. And what that does, you see from the side straight away, it completely changes your seating position. So we've gone from a very upright L-shaped kind of right angle seating position to a very much a slouchy seating position further back. What we would then do is we always follow it from the top line when we put on a cushion, and if you push back down the whole way against it, you're going to keep that seating position. So now I've got quite a far concave slouchy seating position, and then lastly we'd put the cushion on. So people that like that, yeah, it's generally people that need to be more kind of slouchy in their stance. Also, what this is doing, the further back you bring this, the more of your thigh is coming further back. So it means much more thigh is going to be on the cushion, which is going to give you a much better seating position. It's going to take a lot of stress off your legs, it's going to take a lot of stress off your back, and in general it's going to be much more better, much healthier for you basically. It also means that some people may find that their feet, or when they're sitting too far forward, are hanging off the front of the foot plate. What this will do is it will bring your whole seating position further back, so you can have your feet planted right in the middle of the foot plate where we want you. Okay, so at the other end of the spectrum, let's say we have someone that comes into us who's really diddy. They're, say, 5'2", they're quite slim, and they've got quite short legs. So what we would want to do this time is, and they maybe have some sort of a postural disability where they need to sit quite upright. So what we do this time is, rather than being all the way back here, we'd position this further forward, which straight away adds much more lumbar support. We will tighten these straps all the way up, and what that does, you see straight away how that's now gone from a very concave shape to now a very, very kind of springy trampoline upright kind of effect. So what that's done is it's going to bring everything forward. It means, for the same reason, whereas before she might only be touching her tiptoes on here, she's going to be getting flat-footed here. Her legs are going to be getting the right support when we put this next layer on. And straight away now we've got a nice upright L-shaped seating position, so when the cushion goes on it's going to put that individual in the correct position. So we're now going to talk about servicing. So as you can see on these wheelchairs, electric folding wheelchairs basically are bolt-on parts built around a frame. So when your joystick on, that's technically a bolt-on part because it can remove in a second. Your batteries are a bolt-on part because it can be removed in seconds. Right, so your wheels and your motor, they're a bolt-on part held together by 1, 2, 3, 4 Allen key bolts, and then your controller unit is a bolt-on part held by literally 2 bolts. All of these parts will have a certain expiration. A lot of it can be just electrically, and they'll decide when they want to give up, or a lot of them will be down to how you treat your chair. As soon as a part goes, rather than going and get it serviced all the time, which you can't service these parts, all you would do is just straight replacement. Really easy to change all of these parts. They're literally all done by 1 or 2, 3 or 4 Allen key bolts, and it's just a straight swap out. When it comes to that time, LITH-TECH literally have hundreds of spare parts, a part for every single chair and every single model we do. Got racks upon racks of it all next door. We were talking about, so that's the servicing. So it doesn't, yes, you bolt on parts. Let's talk about general maintenance now. So general maintenance of your wheelchair. So over the time of use, when you're using your chair, stuff through vibrations will get loose through vibrations. So the main things that will get loose over time are things like your armrests, maybe your controller unit. So what you've got here is you've got 3 wires coming in. So what happens is your joystick will send a signal to your controller unit. These will send them a signal out to your motors to tell the motors what to do. So here, if I pull these little hoods back, which are to protect these from water, do you see they can get a bit loose? So I can twist that. What you want to really be doing every kind of 4 months is making sure that those cables are pushed all the way in, they're tightened all the way up, and then the hoods, well, this one's a bit stuck actually, but the hoods are pushed all the way back on. So if I pull that off, twist that nice and tight, make sure the hood goes back on nicely, and the same for that one, because during vibrations, these little caps, they do become loose. And if that's the case, that's going to stop your chair maybe moving right or left as efficiently as it would do. Other key parts to go around and tighten would be your front kind of axle area, your front wheels, and obviously your Allen keys. And other places, foot plates. So in the end of the day, if you're not keeping up with your maintenance, which needs to be done every so often, maybe every 2 to 3 months, what will happen, and we see this sometimes when people bring their chairs in, they literally let their foot plates go literally to the point of where they're about to come off. Armrests are kind of like so wobbly that if they were to go along and to get a big bump or something, the armrest could literally fly off. In the end of the day, we sell you a chair, we give you a full maintenance guide. These parts are not going to stay on the chair by themselves when you're kind of 2-3 years into your wheelchair cycle. You do need to do upkeep of them. Also, we saw a customer's chair that came back to us the other day, and literally all in the wheels and tyres were just full of sand, they're full of grit. You can't use wheelchairs on a beach, sand will wreck your motors. So say you go out on a hefty path, which is, or say a beach promenade, which has got sand on it, but you're not going on the sand. When you get back, you will need to wipe the area clean. So we recommend using a microfiber towel with a water spray. The last thing you want to be doing is sitting there with a jet wash, hosing down your wheelchair, which is obviously electrical. So it's just gentle microfibering towels, wipe around the areas which have got dirty, because obviously, like anything in life, the more and the better you maintain your chair or look after things, the longer these things are going to last. If you literally don't care about your chair, do zero maintenance, 1, it could make it dangerous for you, and 2, the lifeline of your chair is going to be minimal, a few years. So in the end of the day, the better you look after things, the more you're going to get out of your chair, and the more it's going to serve you, and for much longer anyway. So I think I've touched on most things in this video. So the main thing was the wheelchair setup, which we go through a lot with customers when they come in for a home demo, for in-house demos. But obviously some people don't get the luxury of that. So quite a useful one to know, because the way you're sat in the chair and the comfort literally changes basically the whole way you use your chair. And certainly for certain disabilities, it's basically probably the most important thing is getting the right seating position for the individual. Anyway, done enough waffling now, so see you in the next video, and thank you very much.